Accuride Corporation, North America's predominant manufacturer of wheels and rims for trucks, trailers, and buses, is pleased to present Servicing Single and Multi-Piece Wheels as another safety and training service to the transportation industry. Every day in this country, hundreds of millions of single and multi-piece rims and wheels go to work. These rims and wheels are designed to function safely and dependably under all kinds of conditions. However, a potential danger is present in their operation and maintenance. Because of high tire inflation pressures, any damaged or improperly assembled rim has the potential to explode. And the larger the tire, the greater its explosive potential. A 20-inch tire inflated to 100 psi of pressure has 40,000 pounds of force, enough explosive force to blow a 16-pound bowling ball 3/4 of a mile, or lift a fully loaded tractor-trailer 1 foot off the ground. If you're in the trajectory or path of the exploding parts, the force is enough to seriously injure, even kill. So it is extremely important to be aware of this potential danger and know how to avoid it. OSHA Standard 29 CFR Part 1910.177, Servicing of Single-Piece and Multi-Piece Rim Wheels, was issued to address the proper servicing of these products. Federal OSHA regulations require all employers to make sure their employees who service rims and wheels are trained and understand the safety information contained in this regulation. The program presented in this videotape will explain how to safely service single and multi-piece rim and wheel assemblies with PEP, an approach that emphasizes proper equipment and proper procedures. Proper equipment means using the correct tools and materials for the task. We will discuss the use of a safety cage or OSHA-approved restraining device, a clip-on air chuck with an inline valve and gauge or regulator, current safety and matching charts, up-to-date manuals, and the appropriate tools. Proper procedures are the step-by-step methods by which the task is completed. You'll see the proper procedures for deflation and demounting of the tire, disassembly and inspection of the rim, maintenance and component replacement, and reassembly of the rim and mounting and inflation of the tire. No rim or wheel servicing should ever be attempted without the use of proper equipment. Most rim-related accidents occurred during inflation. A safety cage or an OSHA-approved restraining device is your best protection in the event of a tire explosion. A safety cage prevents rim components from becoming dangerous projectiles. Using a clip-on air chuck with an inline valve and gauge allows you to stay out of the trajectory. The clip-on air chuck attaches firmly to the valve on the tire, enabling you to control the airflow while standing clear and to monitor the pressure going into the tire. A single-piece rim has a one-piece construction with a drop center well, which is necessary for tire mounting. Multi-piece rims are made up of 2 or more components designed so that the pressure inside the tire locks the pieces together. Multi-piece designs include a solid base and split side ring, 3-piece rims which have a solid rim base and flange and a split lock ring, and other 5- and 6-piece designs normally found on larger off-road vehicles. A single or multi-piece rim may be used as a demountable rim which has no center, or as a disc wheel, which is a rim combined with a center disc. The same safety procedures apply to rims and wheels, whether they are the demountable rim type or the disc wheel type. Current safety and matching charts provide information on the proper procedures to follow to ensure safety and to verify the correct parts. These charts can be obtained by contacting the U.S. Department of Labor, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and directly from Accuride. The safety chart illustrates and explains the proper procedures to follow when servicing each kind of rim and wheel assembly. Rims and rim components are stamped with identifying numbers and letters. Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 120 requires all rims and rim components to be stamped with identifying information including size, type, and manufacturer's designation. The rim base must also include the date of manufacture, the manufacturer's certification of compliance with federal standards, and a designation which indicates the source of the rim's published nominal dimensions. In this case, T represents the Tire and Rim Association's yearbook. The matching chart shows which components make an assembly and go together for a proper fit. A properly fitted assembly is determined by parts fitting together securely. If parts are loose and do not fit together correctly, do not use them. This alone, however, is not enough. The proper components must be verified by size and type, as listed on the matching chart and stamped on the parts. Always check the matching chart to verify that you are putting the correct parts together. Most manufacturers, including Accuride, make available reference manuals for your use in servicing their products. Whereas safety charts show general service procedures for the different kinds of rims and wheels, the manufacturer's service manuals show procedures for the specific design type. You should have these manuals readily accessible and refer to them for the exact procedures to follow when servicing any rim or wheel assembly. It's also important to use the proper tools as well. Proper tools make the job easier and prevent damage to you and the parts. Several different types of tools are necessary for mounting and demounting tires and rims. These include tubeless tire irons, side and lock ring tools, swan neck bead tools, self-locking pliers, a rim mallet, and a driving iron or duckbill hammer. And, if available, an automatic bead seal braking machine. The actual tool selection depends on the tire involved in the assembly. Just as important to safety as the use of proper equipment is following the proper procedures. In any servicing situation, first visually inspect the tire and rim assembly. Flat or underinflated assemblies may have worn, dislodged, or damaged components, and adding air to them can result in an explosion. Always deflate before demounting, staying clear of the trajectory. Remove the valve core. Run a wire through the valve stem to ensure deflation is complete. Only when deflation is complete should the tire be demounted. To disassemble a multi-piece rim assembly, use the proper tools to first break the tire bead seal. Then remove the side or side and lock ring and remove the tire from the rim. To demount the tire from a single-piece rim, first lubricate the tire bead seat area, including the flange, using an appropriate lubricant recommended by the manufacturer. Using the appropriate tool, break the tire bead seal. Then, remove the tire from the rim. Before reassembling, examine all parts. Check for corrosion, cracks, bent flanges, sprung parts, and deep tool marks. Mark and destroy damaged, severely corroded, worn out, or cracked parts. Replace with new parts. Lightly rusted or dirty parts can be reused if they retain their shape and are properly cleaned. To clean components, use a hand or electric wire brush or sandblast to remove dust, dirt, rust, and other foreign matter. Pay particularly close attention to all tire seating areas and component mating areas such as the gutter and rings. Brush or spray a fast-drying metal primer on clean, dry rim surfaces, covering all exposed metal parts to effectively inhibit rusting. Avoid excessive paint buildup. Allow primer to completely dry before reassembly. On multi-piece rims, match components by size and type using charts or manuals and the information stamped on the rim. The same type of rim made by different manufacturers may be interchanged provided the chart shows this combination. Older charts, which identify rim manufacturers, do not show Accuride rims and components. These products are exactly like those marked Firestone and can be interchanged. Never interchange rim components unless they are specified in the service literature as an exact match. Just because parts arrive together doesn't mean they belong together. If the parts don't have identifiable stamping, don't use them. The diameter of the tire must exactly match the diameter of the rim. For example, if the rim stamping shows the size to be 22.5, check to make sure the diameter shown on the tire is 22.5. Unless an exact size match is made, the assembly is extremely dangerous. Never put a tube in a tubeless assembly to correct a leak. Such leaks may be due to a cracked rim, in which case the rim must be destroyed. Never attempt to rework a rim or wheel by welding or heating in any way. Heat destroys the structural integrity of the component and can lead to an accident. If the tire is mounted on the rim, this heat can generate gases from any traces of lubricants and other chemicals that may be present, causing an explosion while you are working. When reassembling and mounting, lubricate the bead seat area of the rim and the tire bead. Do not use petroleum, silicone, water-based, or other non-approved lubricants, as they may damage the tire or rim. Always inflate the tire in a safety cage or OSHA-approved restraining device. Use a clip-on air chuck with remote inline valve and air gauge. After inflation, inspect for proper seating before removing the assembly from the cage or restraining device. Never use a flammable substance such as gasoline or ether as a tire lubricant or to seat the tire beads. Single and multi-piece rim and wheel assemblies are made to work safely and dependably, but because of the extreme inflation pressure of tires, anyone working with these rim and wheel assemblies should know and follow the appropriate safety measures. Remember PEP when servicing and handling single or multi-piece rims and wheels, and use the proper equipment and follow the proper procedures. The proper equipment includes a safety cage or OSHA-approved restraining device, a clip-on air chuck with an inline valve and gauge, current safety and matching charts, current manufacturer's rim manuals, and the correct tools, and follow the proper procedures. First, inspect to make sure the tire has not been run seriously underinflated or flat. Deflate completely before demounting by removing the valve core from the valve stem. And run a wire through the valve stem to make sure deflation is complete. Stay clear of the trajectory at all times. Clean parts and inspect for damage. Mark and destroy damaged parts. Verify component matching by referring to the current chart and rim component identification stamping. Follow the manufacturer's procedures as outlined in their current service manual. Use only approved lubricants. Always inflate in a safety cage or OSHA-approved restraining device. Use a clip-on air chuck and a remote inline valve and pressure gauge. By always following these procedures, when servicing single and multi-piece rims and wheels, you will assure your safety and the safety of all those around you. For more information on servicing wheels and their components, AccuRide Corporation will send at your request any or all of the following materials: the AccuRide Rim Wheel Safety and Service Manual,